What a wild game of football that was. Real Madrid 2, Marseille 1. And honestly, this match felt like a roller coaster that nobody could have predicted from the first whistle. Depending on who you ask, Madrid were lucky, unlucky, robbed by the ref, favored by the ref, dominant, vulnerable, and somehow all of that feels true at the same time. That is exactly what makes football so fascinating and frustrating because two people can watch the same 90 minutes and come away with completely opposite conclusions, and in this case, both might be right. From the start, Madrid came out flying. The first 15 minutes were pure dominance, pressing high, circulating the ball with confidence, sharp one-touch passing, and intelligent rotations between midfield and attack. It looked like Guardiola's Barcelona in 2009 or Bayern Munich under Hansi Flick, an organized storm that Marseille had no answers for. Fans at the Bernabeu thought it was going to be a training exercise, a routine night where the scoreline would only be a question of how many goals, not whether they would win. But as often happens in football, dominance without goals is dangerous, and despite the pressure, Madrid could not finish their chances. A couple of shots went wide, a header over the bar, and one golden opportunity where Mbappé almost killed the game early but missed by inches. That was the first turning point because instead of being 2 or 3 goals down, Marseille were still alive. And when an underdog survives the early storm, they grow in belief. Slowly, they started to push forward, to press higher up the pitch, to sense that Madrid could be rattled. A sloppy pass in midfield, a missed interception by the backline, and suddenly Marseille were in the game. When the equalizer came, the entire energy inside the stadium changed from confident anticipation to nervous tension. The game turned into a battle of narratives, a story where every perspective felt valid. If you wanted to argue Madrid were unlucky, you had evidence. They hit the woodwork, they created more clear chances, they had periods of total control. If you wanted to argue they were lucky, you also had evidence, because Marseille could easily have gone ahead, and Madrid's defending looked fragile at times. Even the refereeing decisions became a matter of perspective. Madrid fans claimed the ref was against them. Marseille fans claimed the opposite, and that's why this match will be debated long after the final whistle. What makes it even more fascinating is the spotlight on Kylian Mbappé, the superstar who carries expectation every time he steps on the pitch. His movement, his explosiveness, his ability to drag 2 defenders with him and open space for his teammates, all of it was on display. He did not score, but his presence alone created fear and stretched Marseille's defense, forcing them to respect his runs and leaving gaps elsewhere. For stretches of the game, you could see Marseille's midfield fighting like warriors, pressing, tackling, winning duels, and unsettling Madrid's rhythm. It reminded me of classic Champions League nights, where the underdog throws everything into midfield battles to break the Giants' control. But here is the difference. Real Madrid have that champion mentality. Even when they wobble, even when they look fragile, they find a way to survive and then to strike. And that is exactly what happened. The late goal, clinical and composed, felt inevitable in hindsight because this is Madrid's story again and again. They can be chaotic, they can be second best for stretches, but when the decisive moments come, they deliver. It wasn't their most beautiful performance, but it was a Madrid performance. The kind of night that reminds you why they have such a legendary aura in European football. For Madrid fans, there is pride in those opening 15 minutes, the glimpse of a team that, when everything clicks, can dominate anyone in the world. For critics, there is worry in how quickly they lose control under pressure, how fragile they can look when the opponent refuses to back down. For Marseille, there is courage in the performance, because they went to the Bernabeu and gave one of the biggest clubs in the world a real scare. This was not a polite defeat. This was a fight where they came close to flipping the script entirely. The result might say 2-1, but the story is richer. It is about missed chances, momentum shifts, psychological swings, and tactical gambles. And that's why the verdict is so complicated. Was Madrid lucky or unlucky, dominant or fragile? The truth is they were all of those things at once, because football is never one-dimensional. It is messy, contradictory, and deeply emotional. Maybe that is why we love it, because it gives us endless debates. One fan sees strength, another sees weakness, and both can argue for hours. In the end, Madrid walk away with the 3 points. Marseille walk away with pride and frustration, and the rest of us walk away with another reminder of why this sport keeps us glued to the screen. Now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments what you think. Did Madrid deserve the win? Did Marseille deserve more? And what did you make of Mbappé's performance? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and stick around for more deep dives into the world of football.